let me share something with you that could change your life. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever caught yourself drifting into thoughts of someone, even when you swore you had moved on? It happens in quiet moments, when you're lying in bed at night, when a familiar song plays, when a random scent brings a rush of emotion you weren't expecting. If this resonates with you, make sure to follow and subscribe for more deep dives into the mind and emotions. Don't forget to like this video and drop a comment below. I see the reflection. Let's explore this journey together. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle, like a whisper in the back of your mind, but it's there, lingering. Maybe you tell yourself it's just nostalgia, that it doesn't mean anything. Maybe you try to dismiss it, bury it under distractions, hoping that one day you'll wake up and find them gone from your thoughts. And yet, despite all your efforts, they remain. It's almost as if their presence has nothing to do with them at all. Carl Jung believed that nothing in the unconscious mind is random. Thoughts don't simply appear without reason. If someone continues to resurface in your mind, it's because your psyche is trying to tell you something. This person isn't just a memory, they are a symbol, a representation of something far greater than themselves. The unconscious is a vast, intricate landscape, filled with everything we have experienced, every wound, every joy, every unresolved emotion. Some things get neatly stored away, while others, the ones that hold real weight, find ways to reappear over and over again until we finally listen. Maybe you believe that if you had closure, the thoughts would stop. Maybe you think if you distract yourself enough, you'll finally be free. But what if I told you that the harder you try to silence them, the louder they become? Jung believed that the things we resist the most are the very things that persist, that the mind does not let go of something it still needs to understand. And so, the real question isn't why you're still thinking about them, but what part of yourself is being reflected in them. Because sometimes, the people who occupy our thoughts the most are not just people. They are mirrors, showing us something we have yet to recognize within ourselves. Think about this. What if the reason you can't stop thinking about them has nothing to do with them at all? What if they are simply a reflection, an echo of something buried deep within you, something your mind is trying to make sense of? Jung believed that we don't just see people as they are, we see them through the lens of our own experiences, wounds, and unspoken desires. This is where projection comes into play. We take something hidden within us, an insecurity, an unmet need, or a repressed part of ourselves, and assign it to someone else. We convince ourselves that we are fixated on a person, when in reality we are fixated on what they represent. Have you ever admired someone so deeply that they almost felt larger than life? Maybe they had a confidence you secretly wished for. Maybe they embodied a sense of freedom you longed for, but never allowed yourself to embrace. The reason you feel drawn to them isn't necessarily because of who they are, but because they mirror a part of yourself that you have yet to claim. But projection works both ways. Sometimes the people who stay in our thoughts the longest are the ones who have hurt us the most. We replay conversations, relive the pain, analyze every little detail as if searching for a missing piece of the puzzle. But Jung would tell you that this fixation isn't about them. It's about the wound they triggered within you. Have you ever noticed how certain people seem to leave an imprint on your soul, while others fade effortlessly into the background? Some connections feel almost fated, as if they were meant to happen. Jung believed this wasn't random. He argued that our strongest attachments aren't just about the people themselves. They are shaped by archetypes, universal patterns buried deep within the human psyche. Archetypes act as invisible blueprints, guiding the way we love, the way we attach, and the way we see the world. Among the most powerful of these are the anima and the animus, the unconscious feminine within the male psyche, and the unconscious masculine within the female psyche. When someone keeps resurfacing in your mind, it might be because they have awakened something deep within you, something that was always there waiting to be acknowledged. The people who consume our thoughts may symbolize a part of us we have yet to embrace, the strength we've denied ourselves, the confidence we've never claimed, the love we've never fully given to ourselves. And until we recognize that, our minds will keep holding on to them, trying to make sense of what was never just about them in the first place. But beyond archetypes and attachments lies something even more powerful, the unhealed wounds we carry, the silent fears that shape our emotions, and the subconscious patterns that keep us trapped in the past. If you can't stop thinking about someone, it's not because of who they are, it's because of what they triggered inside you. Maybe it was a fear of abandonment, a wound of rejection, or an ache for validation that you didn't even realize was still there. Jung believed that the things we try hardest to suppress are the very things that end up controlling us. That's why certain people become imprinted in our minds. They didn't just walk into our lives, they activated something we've been carrying for a long time. And just like a physical wound sends pain signals when left untreated, your mind holds on to people because there's an emotional wound still calling for healing. If you're still caught in the loop of remembering, ask yourself, what is the wound beneath the thoughts? Is it a longing for connection, a fear of being forgotten, a part of yourself you've never fully embraced? Because until you stop asking why they won't leave your mind and start asking what inside you still needs to be healed, the thoughts will never truly fade. And here's the hardest truth. Sometimes the person you can't stop thinking about is simply a distraction from the real work that needs to be done. And that work isn't about them, it's about you. Because the moment you face the wound, the moment you acknowledge what was never about them in the first place, is the moment you start to reclaim your mind, your heart, and your peace. But before you can fully let go, there's something even more powerful you need to understand: the shadow self. Jung called this the hidden side of you, made up of everything you've denied, rejected, or buried beneath distractions. And whether you realize it or not, this shadow is shaping your thoughts, emotions, and even your attachments. What if the person who won't leave your mind isn't there because they're special, but because they're showing you something about yourself that you refuse to see? Until you integrate your shadow, until you acknowledge and accept the hidden parts of yourself, your unconscious will continue placing mirrors in front of you, using other people as reflections of what you need to confront. So instead of asking, why am I still thinking about them? Ask, what do they represent within me? The moment you shift your focus from them to yourself is the moment everything changes. Because the truth is, it was never about them. It was always about you. And now, it's time to set yourself free. If this message resonated with you, make sure to subscribe for more insights into the mind and emotions. Leave a comment below. I see the reflection. Let's continue this journey together.